Hello, my sweet soul sisters and brothers. Mindy Arbuckle here today to chat with you about this unfolding process, this embodiment process of who we really are and what the hell stops us from doing this. Because this is the soul's purpose for incarnating into a human body. And I've had so many experiences this year, as probably many of you have. And even in just the last 2 weeks, I've had enormous expansions of heart. It's funny how you think your heart is gigantic and it's big and it can embrace everybody, and then something happens and it explodes and it gets even bigger and it gets even bigger and it gets even bigger. And I just said this morning, and I feel like this happens to me every few years. It's like I'm the Grinch, not really the Grinch, but it's like I feel like my heart is exactly where it is and it's great and it's fabulous. The Grinch didn't think that. But then it expands like 3 times more and it has a greater capacity. This happened each time I had one of my beautiful children. This happened when I got married. This happened when my brother and my niece nearly died at the beginning of this year in a car accident. And it happened again this week when I found out that my dad is going to have a pacemaker. And there's nothing, seriously wrong with any of this. But what generally happens when our hearts are expanding is that we go through turbulence. We go through something that tosses your world upside down or just messes it up a bit. Children can do this. They're not bad, but whoa, do they put a kink in your lifestyle and change everything. Being able to almost lose somebody really, truly, that like wakes you up. And so we all have these bigger callings, and in my belief, our bigger calling is in some way to serve other people, because it's not all about you. It's not all about me. It's not about how much money you can make. That will come, but it's about you being able to help in a way that only you can, because you have unique gifts that no one else has. No one else has the exact same combination of gifts that you have. It's like your fingerprint, right? Nobody else has your exact fingerprint. All fingerprints look basically the same, but they're all very unique to each of us. And it's embodying that uniqueness and letting go of showing up as somebody else because you think it'll make them more comfortable, or you think that that's what they want or expect from you. I did that for so long. For so long. For those of you who were part of my yoga community, I don't know if this comes as a shock to you or not, but I was showing up as a yoga studio owner for so many years because I thought that's what people wanted from me. Goodness, I'm going to be open and raw today with you. I was living my purpose, and I was living out of alignment with my purpose while I was running my yoga studios. It wasn't a bad profession. It wasn't out of alignment with who I was entirely, but it was not also in full alignment with who I was, and therefore there was incongruency. And that's one of the biggest reasons we aren't living our purpose, is because we're not showing up as our full authentic selves. Was I the authentic Mindy at my yoga studios and teaching and sharing and holding space? Absolutely. And it was never in full alignment with what I was meant to be doing. There's something bigger for me, and there's something way bigger for you as well that you're not giving yourself credit for. And you're staying in your comfort zone. I honestly closed one studio and opened a second within like a month of each other. And it was ridiculous because I was afraid. I was afraid that that was the only thing I could do. That was the only way people would respect me or appreciate me. And when you start a venture like that, there will be some success with it, but it will never be as successful as you want it to be. If you're trying, if the healing that you need, you're ignoring it, and you're putting it out there onto your community or your friends or your clients, it's never going to come off as authentic and as successful as you want it to be, because now you are putting your healing in other people's hands, and that does not work. That does not fix anything. On this path of embodiment, of self-mastery, of waking up, It is our job to clear out that which no longer serves us, to clear out that which is not authentically us. And that means you got to start showing up courageously as you. You got to start showing up as the person you were born to be. And perhaps there's something in the way. Perhaps there's a story that is getting in the way of you being this person that you're supposed to be. And there's protection around you, and you've had to build walls and heart armor to get by for a year, for 10 years, for most of your life, perhaps. And you don't always have to know exactly what triggered the heart armor or the protection that you've had to build around yourself. There's two things that I ask you to do today. Is look honestly, do you still need it? Right now, in this moment, do you truly still need it? Or is it just familiar and it feels like you need it? Because if you get real honest, I'm going to guess you don't need it anymore. And number two is go back. I was given this advice earlier today. Go back to the person you were, to that sweet, innocent child you were before you needed the armor, before you needed the protection, and love her or him fully. Go back to the person you were before you needed that, because you never really needed it. It just became a part of your coping mechanism, okay? It just became a part of your story, and it became a part of your comfort zone. But now you realize that that comfort zone is so squeezing you tight that it's not comfortable anymore. You know what I'm talking about. It sucks. It sucks to live there because you know there's more for you. So 2 weeks ago, approximately, my husband and I had a big riff, and he tore me and my business and my work apart, and it pissed me off. And I also held my own. So I was really proud of myself for that. And I didn't take everything he was saying personally. And I had this bigger perspective of what life was holding for me and for my husband. I had a greater understanding of where he was coming from, which helps us to be able to relate to people and understand, where they're coming from and be able to have a little compassion for them. Okay, so then he left for a week. I was grateful for that. And I said, universe, I am ready. I am ready. I am enrolling a client this week into this amazing sacred fulfillment program that I have. Before he comes home, this is what I want. This is what I need. And you know what? I received it because I was open to it, and I knew the time was right. And that's what we all need to do. We need to have faith and trust and surety that this is what you need right now. And I can't answer exactly what it is that you need right now. You are the only person who knows that for 100% sure. You can check in with me and do a breakthrough call, and we can talk about that and figure it out so that you can gain that surety. But for me, it was surety that this program is what I need to be doing, and I am going to freaking change the world with it. And then I actually had a wonderful conversation with him the day after he got home, and we had an open, loving dialogue, which is exactly the kind of communication we usually have. That came back into fulfillment because that, again, was my intention, and that was my whole essence of what this conversation was going to be about. And so it's like we have to have this surety. We have to have an inner knowing. And how often do you ignore your inner knowing? Yeah, I know, because the other voice, the small self, is really loud and really annoying and tries to convince you all the time otherwise, okay? So that was Wednesday. Gosh, just yesterday, this has been such a full week. Got the client, had the conversation with Brian. Thursday, my father find out he has to have a pacemaker, and it's a relatively safe procedure, but he's in his 80s and he's lived a full life, and I'm so grateful to have the amount of time I've had with him. Here comes the rawness. Emotions are meant to flow. You can be a perfect soul and have emotions. You can be a perfect soul without being a perfect human. I think we all try to put ourselves up on this pedestal that before I can be who I'm supposed to be, I have to meet this level of attainment, or we always put these rules upon ourselves that say, I have to do this before this can happen, and I have to do this before this can happen. And we're the one making up the rules. It's ridiculous. We are the ones putting these stupid rules in place that don't make any sense and don't serve you, keep you limited into this little shell of an uncomfortable comfort zone, and you wonder why you're not living your purpose. It's up to us to call out those rules, to see them clearly, and to say, fuck no. No, you're not true. You are not true, and I'm not going to play by those stupid rules anymore. They're not anybody's rules but mine. So if I put them there, then I can freaking take them away, yeah? And so anyways, after I got this news from my father, held myself together really well during this family talk that we had over Zoom. And then just all these emotions came up. And I realized, wow, I'm having all these emotions because I truly love and appreciate my father. And I feel blessed to have had him in my life. And I know that you can relate to this because there are people in your life that you feel this way about as well. And as that cleared, I shed a few tears. And then what really hit me was that, oh my gosh, look, Mindy, at everything you've been gifted this year, all the hardship, all the challenges. You have held space for your husband, for your family, for your kids who had to stay home during COVID. You've held space for your sister-in-law on the phone on Wednesday night for an hour and a half who's going through an ugly divorce. You held space for your in-laws, for your extended family. I wrote down all these things because, oh my gosh, it's like crazy how much I've been going through. I had the open conversation after the really closed conversation with my husband. I got the new client enrollment. I have amazing conversations with women every week, and sometimes I invite them into my program if they're perfect fit, and sometimes I don't because they're not ready. I get to hold that space and give transformation and plant seeds all the time. I have coaches on my sides. I hold space for my clients. I have an amazing team that I work with. I do these really crazy Facebook Lives that you guys somehow watch, and I'm amazed and I'm grateful. I hold space for myself. I create sacredness for myself, and I teach other people how to do that. There's just so much that I have been put through this year, and what that helped me realize was, shit, I am the rock that I've always wanted somebody else to be for me. I am your rock. People seek me out for surety, for connection, reconnection to themselves, for clarity. People seek me out for peace and understanding, for reconnecting. I already said reconnecting, realignment, for love, for finding their inner confidence again, for finding their inner light and their divinity and connecting to their highest self because they know that is the answer. I am that rock. I am the island that people come to for retreat, for reprieve. And I am owning that. And that honestly was more emotional than the fact that my father's getting a pacemaker, because this is what the divine has trusted me with. And I am calling in my perfect soul sisters right now, because this is a path I have been walking for 20 conscious years, my whole life, but 20 years consciously. And I know who I can help, and I know how I can help. And I know that there are women out there who need this love and this surety and this powerful, loving, supportive guide on their side. And if that feels scary as shit, but your heart says, yeah, we got to do that, book a call with me. Either way, it's going to be a fun, honest heart-to-heart chat where you're going to get a lot more clarity. And if you're right for the program, I will invite you in. And if you're not right for the program, we'll part as friends and stay connected in other ways. It's not about me. It really is about the service that I get to do, that the divine has gifted me, all these ridiculous skills that I have, I'm the only one on the planet with them. There are other people who have similar experiences and similar skill sets, but I am the only one with this fingerprint of these gifts. And I want to share them. I am here to share them with the world. And I want to start with you. I want to start with you. I am the rock that people seek out for solace, for peace, for deep connection, for understanding their purpose. What are you? What is your heart telling you that you are, that you need some assistance in moving forward in your life with the inner power that you know is there, but it's hard to tap into because the other small self's so disruptive? Yes, you have a dream on your heart. You know that there's so much more available to you, and you're ready. You're ready to step out of your limitations that you've put on yourself, the rules that you've tied into yourself, and you're ready to be present, empowered. You're ready to lead with love. You're ready to serve in a way that only you can, and you're ready to get clear about what the hell that means. Why wait until the new year? This is the time to start. This is the time for you to take you on. Because you are the best, most interesting project you will ever work on. I can tell you because I keep working on this one. And she is fascinating and keeps coming up with crazy stuff. And my heart really does keep expanding and expanding and expanding so that I can hold more and more and more of you. And so if you're ready for this journey, if you've been walking this journey and you're ready for a new guide, you're ready for somebody who has been there and done that, please, I invite you, I implore you to schedule a call, because the call is freaking fun anyways, and we really get to get you clear, because I think most of us have been living in a fog probably since 2021 started, because all the shit that's happened. It's enough about 2020, but you're ready. So make the call. Take that leap of faith on yourself and see if this is right for you. One way or another, you're going to leave the call with so much more clarity and excitement and juice on your path, okay? I love you guys. I am your rock. I am the island that you come to for solace, for peace, for loving support, for empowerment, for finding your dharma, your purpose. If that calls to you, come talk with me. I have so much room on my schedule next week. It's getting full, but please, come talk with me. If you need a rock, if you need an advocate, you need a friend and a guide on your side, that's me. I love you. Already, I don't even know all of you, and I love you because we are all one. We are so deeply connected. Okay. That's what my heart needs to say today. Thanks for being here so much. I do love you. Mwah. Talk to you soon.